I'm Jesse. Welcome back to my channel, JaffyDuck Productions. Today we're going to be discussing, reviewing, and recapping Arrow Season 6, Episode 14, Collision Course. So, in this episode, Oliver, Diggle, and Felicity disagree with Dinah, Curtis, and Renee on how to handle Black Siren. The two teams face off and a fight ensues. And a whole lot of other bullshit. Anyway, so if you haven't seen this episode, please definitely go watch it and then join me in the discussion below with it. Alright, so I'm just going to hop right in. We open up with a scene of Mayor Oliver Queen talking with the new captain after Pike died. So the new captain of the SCPD. And she's explaining how Caden James died in her custody. Apparently they're trying to pull it off as a prison fight. Anyways, so this is the new captain that's in Ricardo Diaz's pocket, or Richard Dragon, Richard Diaz. He gets referred to as Diaz in this episode, so that's what I'm going to be calling him. So this is the one that's in Diaz's pocket. So we move from there to, he walks into a meeting with the heads of all of his city's infrastructures. So we've got like the head of the teachers union, the head of waste management, whatever they may be called, the head of the police department, the head of the fire department, the heads of everything. He's discussing what they're going to do. They're pretty much financially bankrupt. There's no money to be had. It was all extorted from them. So they can't pay their citizens. They can't pay their workers. So yeah, we see where we go from there. I'm assuming they can't get more money from the national government because, let's face it, Star City's been a terrorist hot zone for quite a while now. I'd say about 6 years. So he gives them a time limit. He will have the money within 48 hours, 2 days. And then he close that meeting. He goes back to his office and he's discussing with Thea and Quentin that the accountant is on his way back from Corto Maltese. And yeah, during that discussion, he's currently more worried, because he's assuming he's getting the money. He's currently more worried about Dinah Drake's little vengeance mission against Black Siren, and how that could just tear the city apart. Like, if she decides, well, if I'm going to kill Black Siren and just start slaughtering people until they give me her name. It's a very, very good idea. And I think he's more worried really about what it will do to Dinah. Anywho, speak of the devil, as she does appear, she is escorting the accountant in. Turns out that money's already been withdrawn from the bank account in Corto Maltese. Which is surprising because, well, the only person that had that access code was Caden James, and potentially 3 other people. That would be Richard, which would be Diaz, Anatoly, and Laurel. So they're starting a manhunt for these 3 people. We cut over to Oliver going home. He walks in on William and Felicity baking cookies. She's using it as a chance to teach him thermodynamics, which is funny because they just wanted cookies and she needed an excuse to make cookies. You're essentially a stepmom. You don't need excuses to make cookies with the kid. Anyways, they close, so Oliver's curious why he was home. He usually has an after-school study group at this point. Turns out school closed early. They canceled the study group for budgetary concerns. And yeah, even now you can see it falling apart because of the money available right now. And so yeah, we did that. Closed schools early. So we're wondering if the person that framed Oliver with that fake picture, the person that leaked the information to the FBI, the person that's framed him for Caden James' son's death, and is all the same person, which theoretically and probably is the same person. We know that person is Diaz, but yeah. Anyway, so he has her hack Corto Maltese's equipment and have it sent through the proper channels to the accountant that will show us who took that money out. And yeah, she says give me about an hour, and yeah. So we go over to the Outsiders meeting. Never realized, but they never really officially named themselves this. I've heard people call it Team Terrific because Mr. Terrific seems to be the kind of pseudo leader. With such strong personalities as Wild Dog and Black Canary on it, it's actually kind of surprising. But also to see, it would be awesome to see Curtis actually take the lead of this team. Anywho, so Wild Dog was interrogating some low-level Bratva just to see if they knew anything, which they don't, so he's having trouble tracking down Anatoly. Dinah Drake's just being a bitch. Boring. It's sort of through line of the episode of her just kind of being a bitch to everybody, even her own team. So she gets a text from the accountant. They got the information. So Curtis is uncomfortable with Dinah's little revenge go at him. But Renee wants them to just kind of focus on the task at hand. There's a lot of money missing, and they need to save the city again. So this time from actual financial collapse. Focus on the task at hand and just be there for Dinah, and then we'll focus on trying to save Dinah later. City's on the verge. Yep, city's on the verge of economic collapse. So they get to Oliver's office, and Dinah and the accountant shows Dinah and Oliver the video, and it's of Laurel Lance, Black Siren Laurel Lance, and she's taking the money out, and yeah, which is weird timing wise because the full amount wouldn't have been in there except for the evening, and I'm a little more than slightly confused because she would have had to pull this out sometime during the week that they were, well, it'd have to be at the end of the week, but she was back in town for the fight and going for her to-go bag when she figured out Caden was going to betray them all. So before then, she didn't realize Caden was going to be, so why would she pull the money out? She couldn't have pulled the money out afterwards because she was in Lance's, like, this is something that it's very, very, I'm very, very, very confused as how this is actually working, and timeline-wise, I hope they have an explanation. I hope it's not completely ridiculous. Anywho, moving on. Oh yeah, so Oliver wants her alive. He needs her alive. He wants to kind of offer a deal to try to get her to talk. Dinah's like, well, she's not going to talk either way, so I'll probably just kill her and torture her. And Oliver's like, no, we can't do this. I'm not going to let you do that. Dinah doesn't believe she can give it back either way. Yes, Ollie, you're not the one to be giving lectures on who not to murder. And yeah. And he gives her a statement, I will never let you cross that line. So he promises her that he'll never let her cross that line. And she's like, are you really in a position to threaten me, or something along those lines? And yeah, it's a battle of wills, and it's kind of stupid, really. Like, It's not a threat. He doesn't want to let you just cold-blooded murder somebody. Uh, my head hurts when it comes to this, so let's cut to something else that makes my head hurt in this episode, and that's Creepy Daddy Lance. Creepy Daddy Quentin. Whatever you prefer. So, Creepy Daddy kidnapped his alternate Earth daughter and took her up to a cabin in the woods, where he went to visit her, and he's trying to talk some sense into her. She's wounded, he stitched up her bullet wound, and is trying to help her heal. Okay, there's so many levels of wrong in this. It's just, oh my god, Quentin, why? I don't know how to express how truly fucked up this is. Oh my god. Anyways, so she's like, and so, yeah, so he's keeping up in that little creepy cabin in the woods. Now we cut back to him and Oliver and Thea talking later on, and he has a plan. Since Black Siren followed him earlier, he would be able to lure her away potentially to say goodbye if she's still in Star City. So he's going to go home for the day and just make it easy for her. Which is complete bullshit. He's a terrible liar, and for some reason, only Thea is the one that can see through it. So, yeah, and so he goes away. Thea leaves, and she's going to end up following Quentin. Yeah, this just messed up. So we cut over to the Outsiders, which apparently isn't their official name. They haven't decided that, which I completely missed. I thought that was an actual idea that they were actually going to do. So, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so we get some new tech from Curtis's balls. I know they haven't used that joke very often, and I still love it. Anyways, it's some sort of resonant frequency from somebody from Earth 2. Anyway, it reveals Laurel was dragged away by somebody and just taken away and put somewhere. So they're trying to figure out, look for more clues. They want to find the tire track, which leads nowhere. So, yeah. And we cut over to more Creepy Daddy time. He's talking about her daddy issues, how she's always looking to a father figure. Zoom, then Adrian Chase, then Caden James. By the way, who are all dead, and just not even steadily worse, actually, now that I stop and think about it. Zoom was fucking terrible and controlling and manipulative, yes, and like literally beat her. Adrian Chase was probably around the same, and maybe a little worse, more psychological, definitely. And then we have Caden James. Yeah, Caden James really isn't. He's a little bit manipulative, but he wouldn't have been that bad a person to work for. Like, he's actually, he might be a villain, woo, but like, yeah, he wasn't absolutely terrible. Well, I guess, I don't know. I don't care either. Just, yes, we get it. Earth 2 Laurel has some serious daddy issues, and Quentin wants to fill that hole. Oh my god. I gotta stop.
Flash for that long.
I am so keeping that in, brother. So, his appeal in this is all to give her a choice in her life. Nice for him. Playing or honesty. She's nice to him after this. Thea found them. It's this really creepy shot. Somebody pointed out it's probably CGI'd in, and it's him talking to Laurel, and then it's like a lightning flash outside, and there's Thea's face just like right in the window. And it's like, but just the way it's lit and just like it looks like it's superimposed there. It's freaking weird and creepy. It's Looks like a scene out of a B-rate horror movie. So Thea found him. So of course she's going to confront Lance, but we'll get to that in a moment. From there, Team Arrow is gone and looked at the same site where Laurel was taken. Found a boot print. That boot print actually led them back to Dinah, so they think Dinah has her. So they go to where the Outsiders are, and it's Team Arrow versus them, and they break in to search their bunker. And so, first of all, Felicity hacked them, which Curtis was angry about. Oliver shot up. Oliver and Renee get really into it. And Renee's like, "You're just a thug, Oliver. Wait till your son finds out you're no hero. You're just a thug who beats people up." And he crosses the line, and Oliver was going to walk away from it, which Oliver would have normally just shot somebody. Anyways, and Renee goes, "You walk away from me," and takes a swing at Oliver and hits him. And then Oliver puts him up against the wall and puts an arrow to his throat. I'm sorry. You should have shot the fucker in the leg again with another arrow. Anyways, so some sort of flashbang, and while they're stunned, Felicity and Diggle search the place. They all leave. They don't have Dinah, and yeah, they're all gone. So another point they brought up is Vincent, and they brought up Vincent trying to make Oliver feel guilty. But Oliver's response is perfect, and it makes the most sense. He would still be alive if they had not walked into Gaben's trap. So, if they had listened, and if they had gone to save the city instead of trying to just go save Vincent, he would probably still be alive. He'd be tortured and angry and probably a little more crazy than he already was, but he'd probably still be alive. That's frustrating. And yeah. So, turns out when he hit Oliver, he actually put not a tracker so much as a microphone on Oliver, and he bugged him. And yeah, this level of frustration and mistrust between these two teams after they've worked so well together in the past, it's mind-boggling to me, because I kind of wanted the dynamic where the two teams, they don't like each other, they don't like working with each other or for each other, but they have to. They're good, and their goals are the same. They want to save the city, and they kind of team working their way through gang leaders and stuff. That seems appealing, because let's face it, who the fuck would want to work with Oliver on a consistent basis? Even Barry doesn't want to work with Oliver on a consistent basis. And yeah, it's just, hurts my head. So, we cut over to Creepy Daddy again, and this time it's Creepy Daddy with his surrogate daughter and Earth 2 daughter. And Thea's confronting him while Laurel's asleep. So she literally waited outside that window until she fell asleep, which is, alright, creepy Thea time too. Would have helped him. He didn't want her to have to lie to Oliver. Looks like Laurel was awake. Thea teasing Quentin. And, like, I don't know why I put down teasing, because it's like, they call Oliver because Laurel wants them to, and they're all kind of talking to Oliver, and Thea's like, "I'm not at the office, Oliver. I'm with Quentin. We're in a creepy cabin in the woods, where, we're in a creepy cabin in the woods where Quentin's been holding Black Siren." And then just the tone of her voice, she was like, teasing, and saying it out loud, it's even more creepy than it was. So of course he's like, "Alright, text me the address and I'll get up there." And of course the Outsiders hear this. They're like, because the bug is mostly a listening bug, and then they decide to track it. So to track it, they're following Team Arrow up to that mountain, up to that cabin in the woods. So they're all driving up there, and turns out the outsiders decide to follow the van within sight of the van. You have a tracker that allows you to track it while you're on the same road, like 50 meters behind them. So Dig automatically just goes and does stupid things in a cargo van that shouldn't be able to happen in a cargo van, and gets away from them, and Oliver makes sure, oh well, good driving, and Dig was like, what, you forget what you hired me for 6 years ago? And yeah, it's just best joke of the episode, one of the best lines of the episode. Yep. Felicity found losing the tail exhilarating. So, we finally get to the cabin. They're all confronting. So, it's what Laurel wants. She wants out of the country safely, so she doesn't have to worry about dying on over her shoulder. So, this is something that's going to be very difficult to do. So, what they're going to do with it is they're actually going... Lance volunteers to go with her. So, Lance is going to go start his life with her, some other country, some other place. And that way he can guarantee the money will get back, if she hasn't. So, instead of trusting Laurel, he's putting his trust in Lance, and trusting in Lance's feelings, essentially. So, as Felicity's, making them new identities, getting them ready to leave, we cut over to the outsiders. Dinah just in this entire episode seems to be that angry, gritting teeth look on her face, and it's honestly starting to get quite annoying and quite boring. Like, calm down, lady. Like, it's frustrating watching this play out. It's just, I can't get behind anything they're doing. And it doesn't help that, like, if you wrote Team Arrow as doing a lot of things that are morally ambiguous as much as what the outsiders are doing, like, you'd be, like, more torn, like, oh crap, which one's in the right? Neither one of them is in the right. No. Right now, Team Arrow's in the right, and they've been in the right the entire freaking episode. They've done some stupid things, but, like, tracking them down to their thing to try to see if Laurel was there, that doesn't make any sense. If you did any type of thing and be like, oh, yeah, the three of them here are investigating, how the hell did they get here before us? Like, that's the logical leap there. And they didn't make a proper logical leap, and that was stupid. Anyway, so we cut over what the outsiders are doing. They just said, and Mr. Terrific has a brilliant idea. He's like, I have an idea. It's going to hurt Diggle, though. And Renee's like, what do you worry about hurting his feelings for? And no, he's not going to hurt his feelings. This is going to physically hurt him. And Renee's like, okay, I can track his implant, but it involves me shutting it off. The implant that gave him back his use of his arm. You're going to fucking disable it, Curtis. Just to track where he is. It will hurt. And it did. So it was very confusing the next little bit. I was very, very, very confused why he didn't send Diggle, Felicity, Quentin, and Laurel, and perhaps even Thea. Just send them out on the truck. There's got to be more than one way up here. Just send them out on the van and take on the team himself. Set traps, non-lethal, of course, but set traps and just have the outsiders come to him. That would have made more sense. No, they kind of just twiddled their thumbs and waited for them to come. and then try to escape. You've trained these guys yourself. They know what they're doing, for the most part. So, Diggle's not sure if it's the right law. Curtis feels guilty. He damn well should be. Not sure if this is the right thing. Line. Such an intense goodbye fight. Alright. Oh yeah, that's such an intense goodbye when he's saying goodbye to Laurel. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's definitely coming back. They're definitely going to probably have a thing. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Fight! So, this fight was all over the freaking place. Curtis and Renee gets angry. At one point, he's just shooting blindly. Felicity steps in his path. He keeps shooting. He ends up shooting Felicity. Shoots Felicity. Dinah catches up with Laurel and Lance. Dinah takes down Lance, and she's kind of like making Laurel crawl and grabbing her hair. Anyways, big speech, and it takes a little while. While this is happening, Diggle's taken down fairly easily. Like, he can't do much, but his arm is in severe pain, and he can't hold a gun straight. So he's not doing great in this fight. He's pretty much sidelined, and I think he ends up going to help Felicity, which makes sense. So Oliver takes down Curtis freaking hard. Then he takes down Renee. He's like, stay down. Stay down. I don't want to hurt you anymore. Renee comes at him with a freaking axe. And, by the way, Oliver didn't use any sharp objects, but he just whooped Renee's ass a second time. Because Renee wouldn't stay the fuck down. Alright, and so Diggle, Felicity, and Oliver all try to run off to catch up with Dinah, Laurel, and Lance. Laurel, however. Anyways, so they don't. Curtis catches up first. Curtis talks Dinah down. Does this look like justice? Curtis got through to her. Laurel got up, screamed, and ran. Then Oliver gets there, stops them from giving chase. Renee shows up and is like, alright, what are you guys doing? And then collapsed from internal bleeding. He was beaten freaking badly. And yeah. The chip glitched, quick concussion. So yeah, they ended up with no money. Diggle's chip is glitched as hell, and Quentin's got a concussion. And as Felicity's fixing Diggle's chip, she's like, I can't believe Curtis would do this. This is our prototype. And she's like, I mean, oh yeah, of course, to you, that's awful. Alright, and let's see. Check on Renee, then deal with the city. Curtis and Dinah having a heart-to-heart. They have faith in each other. And then, of course, Oliver goes to the heads of his infrastructure and on news, and he says, I have failed this city. I love bringing that around. So we cut over to the DA, who is in charge of taking on Oliver Queen's case, and it's paper thin. The case against Green Arrow is paper thin. The DA has found something that could bury Queen, but he needs the full resources of the SCPD. And he's talking to the captain of the SCPD. Turns out the DA is in Diaz's pocket, as well as the captain, and he has what he needs. Renee is in bad shape. Visitors, Dig and Felicity, they're done with them. Oh, yeah. So, they're done with him. Curtis has his very angry rant, like, we're not going to do this with you anymore, blah, 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 blah. And they walk away. So, Renee is really bad. He's getting transferred to another hospital to get the attention he needs. And they blame Oliver for this when it's Renee wouldn't stay the fuck down? And they're the ones that attacked them, and alright. And then we cut over to Laurel. She's wounded. She's come bleeding down to somebody, and she's like, "My name's Laurel Lance. I was kidnapped 2 years ago." Okay, that's completely out of the blue. What on earth is happening? Like, that's when real Laurel died, and who's she gonna say she kidnapped her? Was it Oliver Queen? Was it Captain Lance? Like, the entire city saw her die at the hands of Damien Dark. And they celebrated Laurel as Black Canary. They built a statue in her honor. My brain just kind of hurts right now. This season has taken a weird turn. This episode was cringeworthy at best. At worst, it was so fucking terrible. Some great Diggle and Oliver moments. Pretty good joke with William. William wasn't terrible. I can't defend this episode. My rating for this episode is an easy 2 out of 5. I was definitely more pumped watching this episode, but like as I sat down and like read my notes and discussed it with you guys, it's just like just no. Alright. So this is hoping that this season gets a lot better and finishes as strong as it started. And we figure out what Diaz is doing, where this money is, what the heck Laurel's up to, who she's in cahoots with. If she's doing this for herself, why is she doing this for herself? Anyways, I'm going to just stop babbling on. Alright, that was my discussion, recap, and review of Arrow Season 6, Episode 14, Collision Course. So, let me know what you think down in the comments down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this episode. Anyways, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Alright, I love you guys. See you later.